Good day everyone. Today I'm going to present the basic priority ceiling protocol, which is one of the resource access protocol. So this protocol extends the priority inheritance protocol to prevent the deadlocks and to further reduce the blocking time. So this protocol, you need to know it has two assumptions, which is the priorities of all the jobs are fixed and the resource required by all the jobs are known a priori before the execution, which means the the resources access to the jobs is known before the execution. And there will be rules of this protocol. First will be the scheduling rule. At the release time, the current priority of every job, which is the job priority, is equal to its assigned priority, and every job is scheduled preemptively, which is scheduled in preemptively is so the allocation rule and the job when the job requests the resource, so one of the following will occur. First, the resource is held by another job, which means the resource being requested is used by other jobs, so the request will fail and the job will becomes blocked. And second, the resource is free, which means no any jobs is requesting or using the resource. So if the job's priority is higher than the current priority ceiling, so the resource is allocated to J because it's free. So and also the priority of the job is higher than the current priority ceiling, so the resource will allocated to the job. And if the job's priority is not higher than the ceiling of the system, which is the resource is not the resource is allocated to the job only if the job is holding the resources whose priority ceiling is equal to the current priority ceiling, which means now there's a job having a priority of 2, but now the current priority ceiling which is 1 is less than that, but this job will assign to the resource if the job currently is holding the resource. Let's say it has a resource of shared. This resource is currently this shared resource of the priority is 1, so it's the same with this current priority ceiling. So this job will get allocated to the resource. So when we go to the third rules, so if the priority inheritance rules, when J becomes blocked and the job 1 which blocks the J will inherit the current priority of the job, which means the currently executing job will block the new job, so the priority of the new job will inherit by the currently executing job. Okay, so let's see an example. So we have these 5 jobs and we know the release time, execution time, and the priority of the job, which is equivalent to the job number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this critical section is actually the jobs are going to access to this resource. Here we have these 2 resource, which is shaded and black. So here we need to know that the priority ceiling of the resource here, which we have to write. So here we have the black resource and the shaded resource. Here we know the priority ceiling of the resource of black is 2 because the resource black will assign to the highest job priority, which is 2. So the priority ceiling of the resource, which is 2. And here we can see the shaded resource here. It has the priority ceiling, which is 1, because although the resource will access to job 1 and job 4, but the highest priority of the job being access to the resource is 1. So the priority ceiling of the resource, which is 1. Alright, so now we are going to execute this job. We know that job 5 will get executed first because it will release at time 0, and you can see the job 4, which has 2 release time. Job 3 is 4, job 2 is 5, and job 1 is 7. So job 5 will get executed first. So job 5 will get executed for 1 unit, and then at time 1, job 5 is requesting the resource of black, and now we can see that the resource is free, so it will granted for job 5. So job 5 will execute for 1 unit of the black. But then here we can see job 4 is released at time 2, and then it will start execute and preempt job 5 because job 4 has the higher priority than job 5. It has a higher priority. So job 4 will get executed. But the second interval of job 4, it wants to access the resource. But then here we can see job 5 is currently using the resource, and according to the rules, if the resource is held by another job, so the jobs will request fail and being blocked. And when it blocks, the priority inheritance rules will apply, as job 5 is currently execute the black resource black. So job 5 priority will become 4, as it inherits the priority of job 4, and then job 5 will get executed for another resource unit here. But then here at time 4, job 3 is released, so it has a higher priority than job 5. So job 3 will execute for 1 unit, and then the next time interval for which is 5, the job 2 is released, so job 2 will get executed. But then at the second unit of job 2, it wants to access to the resource black. But then here we can see that now the job 5 is also currently the resource is currently assigned to job 5, so it will get blocked. Since it's blocked, then the job 5 priority, you can see it will assign again, become 2, from 4 become 2. Alright, so this job 5 will get executed for another unit of the resource black. And then at time 7, the job 1 will release, so it has its highest priority, so it will get executed for 1 unit. And then for the second time interval, it requests the resource, which is shaded here, and shaded has the higher priority ceiling of the resource, which is greater than the current system ceiling, because the current system ceiling now is actually, since it's executed here, the current system ceiling is according to the priority ceiling of this resource, which is black, and so is equal to 2. But then the resource priority ceiling has highest, which is 1, which is greater than 2, so this resource will get accessed by job 1, and job 1 will get executed. So it will execute 1 unit because it needs shaded for 1 unit only, and here we can see it execute for another unit because it needs an execution time of 3. So now at time 10, because we know that this job 1 is already done, and then job 2, it actually currently the job 5 has the highest priority because job 5 has inherited the priority of job 2, which is 2. So job 5 will continue to execute for 1 unit of the resource. And here you can see that the resource is being executed completely, which is 4. So it will not get executed, and then the priority of job 5 is now become to its original priority, which is 5. And then from here you can see now the priority of job 2 is the highest, so it will get executed. So it will execute its resource to black because now the resource black is free, so it will get executed, and then it will continue to execute for another unit since it has a 3 execution time. So now job 2 is already done. We go to job 3. Job 3 has no resource to access, so it will just execute normally. So now it's already done also for job 3, and at time 14 you can see job 4, the shader is getting a request by job 4, so job 4 will start access to the resource for these 2 interval. But then here you can see at time 16 the black is requested by job 4, and since the current system priority is equal to 1, is equal to 1, but then now here at time 16 the resource black is getting request by job 4, and then it will get assigned to job 4. Why? Because from the rules here, if the job's priority is not higher than the ceiling, which is higher than the current system ceiling, because now job 4 has the priority of 4, and then it has not higher than the current system priority, which is 1, because now the current system ceiling of the system is 1, because shaded has the priority ceiling of 1, so it's not greater than the current system ceiling, but then it will get allocated if the job is holding the resources whose priority ceiling is equal to the current system ceiling, which is now the ceiling. Now the current system ceiling is 2, right? The current system ceiling is 1, but then the resource is being holding by the job is equal, because the resource shader, it has the priority, the shader has a priority of 1, and now the current system priority, which is also 1, is equal. So you can see here the resource black is get assigned here, so it will execute for 1.5 unit, because here we can see it needs an execution for resource black 1.5 unit, and then it will execute concurrently because the resource is different, so it will get executed concurrently until it ends for 1.5 unit, and then you can see here the shaded resource is also get access until 18, and then it will continue to access for another unit because job 4 needs a execution time of 6, so you can see here got another 1 unit, and then when job 4 is done, So job 5, you can see it has another unit because here the execution time of job 5 is 6. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So the execution here all are n, and that's all from me. Thank you.